One. Welcome back to the Notary Podcast with Daniel C. Lewis, found exclusively on YouTube. And today we're at the National Notary Association Conference. We're interviewing the top notaries in the country. And you want to introduce yourself, Michele?
My name is Michele Klempner. I'm celebrating my 25th year as a traditional notary public, and I'm based here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
25th year as a traditional notary.
4 years as a RON.
4 years as a RON. A lot of people are just trying to figure out, how can I make money as a traditional notary? How can I make money as a RON? Right here. Expert right here at the National Notary Association Conference. How did you get started as a notary?
I was the office notary to start, like so many other people, commissioned for that purpose.
That was a lot of people start off that way, as an office notary public. And what did you do before you were a notary?
Before I was a full-time notary, I was working in an office. I was working running the region of the Americas for an Austrian company that was running luxury cruise line casinos.
Oh, wow. That's very interesting. So you were all over the world?
I did travel a lot, and I was basically a logistics person doing all of the foreign hiring for the cruise ship casinos.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. And now, what do you do full-time now?
Right now, I'm a full-time notary.
Oh, nice.
I have True Blue signing and apostille services in Fort Lauderdale, and I'm also acting as a full-time head of notary operations for onenotary.us. It's an online platform.
And what does that notary service do?
It's an online platform for RON notaries who in Florida, well, around the country, any state with RON legislation can transact their business, or they can also work for our team and take care of our business partners and traffic that comes to our website.
When you look for notaries to be on that platform, what are some of the characteristics you're looking for?
We're looking for experienced notaries who know how to be a good notary first. I always say that's the key. We can teach you how to use those tools to be a RON and to do online notarizations, but you need to be a good notary first. So I would say that's really important. Also, professionalism. Presentation is always important. You know, you're on camera during this transaction. It's being recorded and stored on the platform. So that attention to detail is super important as well.
Okay, when you say good notary, because a lot of people, they'll say, hey, I know I'm a good notary. What are you looking for? If we can peel that back a little bit,
Sure.
When you say good notary, what are you looking for there?
I'm looking for someone who's aware of changes that may occur, which is very frequent in Florida. Someone who has sort of a finger on the pulse of the changing evolution of our notary statutes, but also awareness about security. You know, on the online platform, we need to ultimately be sure, just like we do in person, that this person is signing willingly, that they agree to the use of an electronic signature, and they understand that they're legally bound by the terms of the document if there are legal terms involved. So all those elements are important.
You also mentioned experience. What type of experience are you looking for? Because some people say, well, how am I going to get any jobs if people won't hire me because I don't have any experience? What kind of experience are you looking for there?
I would say communication, being able to communicate effectively with people. But I think that there's a lot of transferable skills into the notary world. Like, I came from a hospitality background. I had always a fascination with logistics. So if you like to fix a problem or figure out a way to make it happen, if someone's in person and they aren't able to do it, or they aren't able to meet with the notary for whatever reason, you could suggest an online notarization. It's not for everyone, but having that critical thinking about, solving a problem is important. Lots of transferable skills. Online.
Transferable skills. That's a big key. So if someone was contacting your company and say, hey, I want to work for your company, what type of things are you looking for in that conversation? Are you looking for confidence? Are you looking for how clear they speak?
Yeah. Confidence is a big thing. Like, if you're not if you're not a notary who's really comfortable, but you're teachable, That's key. Someone
Ah.
who's open-minded and willing to learn something new is great, because then I know they're paying attention. They're not just thinking about checking the box kind of thing. So I would say, yeah, that's really important. Confidence.
What things are you not looking for? When you hear if you're talking to someone and you know instantly, that's not going to work for me. What type of things are you?
Well, I would say be careful how you present yourself on social media, because we see things like that. There are
So good.
notaries who have applied to me, and I see pictures of them like I wouldn't want them. If you're, inappropriately dressed for Facebook, chances are you're going to show up that way. Or, just have pride in what you do and present yourself in a way that represents yourself, but also the platform. Because everyone has an opportunity after the session is completed to rate the notary, or to rate the experience, I should say.
Okay.
And it can be a wonderful experience for people, especially when they've never done it before.
I've said that so many times because so many people say, and I'm glad you brought up the social media part, because I have a signing company, and I will look you up on social media. And
Me too.
Absolutely. If you think you're not going to be found, or you're in this private group, and you say some derogatory things about this or that, and nobody's going to find it, you wouldn't believe how many people over the years, when they're in a private group, the group members copy and paste what you say and put it out there. So yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. What tips would you give a person that's just getting into the notary business?
I would say learn your state laws and the requirements first. And I always say be a good notary first, but know how to take an acknowledgement and what that means. What's the difference between an acknowledgement and a jurat? Yeah, a jurat has to be signed in my presence. An acknowledgement doesn't necessarily have to. Little things like that. That's going to make, when you sit with someone, even if you're less experienced or you're just learning, that makes a good first impression. And also be willing to learn. I would say be teachable and be open to people who have more experience. It's not a competition out there. We're really personally, I love the training part of it. I love helping notaries grow. And as a new notary, I think you should understand that there's a lot of things that we can do as notaries. Apostilles, Ron, so many things.
Speaking of just being a continuous learner, what do you think about telling notaries to come to a place like this, the NNA conference?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Why would you recommend coming to the NNA
Why?
conference?
Because we can sit with somebody like you and talk about notary stuff and talk about, hey, what's working for you? Hey, what's working for me? Maybe I'll try that. Or could we jump on a call next week and have some more details? I think the fact that, and growing your network in your area is huge. For your own benefit, your business's benefit, and for your client's benefit, most importantly. Hey, I can't take care of you. I'm in Orlando at a conference, but Julie's just down the street.
Yes.
Let me share her number with you, and you're in good hands. They love that.
Yeah,
Who wouldn't?
If you're going to stay in this business a long time, you definitely need referral partners. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
What tips would you give to someone who's been a seasonal notary, who's been out there year after year after year, and their business is just dependent upon just the real estate
Single
industry?
stream.
Yeah.
I would say try, maybe see what it was that you've enjoyed doing in other areas before. Like for me, the travel, the passion for international logistics brought me doing apostilles from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And figuring out those. Are you a problem solver, or are you someone who would rather just, do the day-to-day? Tips? I don't know. That's a good tip.
Would you tell a seasoned notary, because I've talked to a lot of seasoned notaries and their business is one-dimensional. It's just, I'm just doing real estate. Okay, now the real estate is dried up. Now I'm going to complain that the real estate's dried up. How do you feel about notaries diversifying their business?
I think it's critical. I don't think you can scale without diversification. I really do. And if seasoned notaries are stuck in their ways and they don't want to change, then they can't expect to grow. That's just my personal opinion, but I feel like you have to be open-minded to some things. I mean, maybe your niche is helping elderly folks. There's so many ways you
Yep.
can get involved with that. Florida deed fraud is a huge problem. We have a task force in Broward County that notaries have been invited to be a part of. Finally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I mean, just find where your passion lies, and chances are there's a notary fit in there somewhere.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we're considered credentialed professionals,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
we don't even need to be using our stamp to make a change.
Yes.
So I would say there's lots of opportunities out there.
Yeah,
And
you-
reach out to the more experienced notaries and say, hey, I'm stuck.
Well,
What can I do?
Well, let me ask you this, and this is a question I get all the time. How can you describe a time that you had an obstacle in your notary profession, and how did you overcome that obstacle? How did you work through that obstacle to become successful?
Well, I was very intimidated by Ron in the beginning
Okay,
because I was not an on-camera person. I'm getting better.
she's on camera now.
and I think that Ron really helped me with that as
Okay.
well, and also talking about what I know and what I understand from a perspective of someone who came into it, 2020 when the legislation was first passed. I started talking to people who had been doing it. I want to connect with Jacqueline Phillips. She's been around
yeah.
since 2016. She was one of the original 100 people. I want to talk to her. I want to hear what she has to say. I want to, I don't want to make the same mistake she made, and she's happy to tell me, what was right, what wasn't. And yes, I would say I've always been someone who's not shy about reaching out to others who are doing what I want to do next.
So you would say if somebody is an introvert, they can reach out to someone who's been doing it for a while and getting that information.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't want to meet them personally, or you feel threatened that business is going to be stolen and somebody's put that in your head for some reason, reach out by email and just introduce yourself. And then if it was me, I would say, hey, can I give you a call? And give you your space. And yeah, definitely.
Excellent. Any last thing that you want to share with our audience?
Well, I would definitely recommend the NNA conference. It's all over the country, every year a different place. But there's lots of good information online. Be careful of Facebook University, as we always say. But I recommend Notary Business Builders. It's a group I've been involved with since 2021.
Now, what is Notary Business Builders?
It is showing notaries ways to diversify their business and how to do it at a very high level. So yeah, you need to be commissioned as a notary, but we're all at different levels of experience. You have Bill Soroka, you have Jen Neitzel, you have Laura Buer, the GOAT, and all those people available to you, and it's amazing. And we have live sessions every week, but we also have a recorded library of things that you can look back on. We're all working, we're all running our businesses, so you can't be in every one, but
yeah, we had Jen Neitzel on a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, talking on our
She's
podcast.
awesome.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
And she's very big on networking too.
Yeah.
So she and I have that in common. There's no reason. You have to network to scale and to grow your business and to make friends. It's not just about the business. Look at all these awesome notary friends I have now.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah.
I told you before we were going to interview the top notaries in the country, and yes, as you can see, she's one of the top notaries in
Thank
the country,
you, Daniel.
located in Florida. We have put a link in the description of how to contact her and her business information. And hopefully, if you like this podcast, make sure you like and subscribe.
And share.
And share, yes. Don't forget, share. Like, subscribe, and share. Talk to you soon.
All right. That was good.
You like that? Yeah. You were just
I could get used to that.
Yeah.
Look for me on Good Morning America.
Yes.
That was good.